This is Dr. Bills inside the HBCU Sports Lab with the professors. We have Professor Bishop and Professor Washington. Let's get into the major division rankings in terms of the top 7. See what you think is going on here. We had the Alcorn State Braves dropping out. They're 1-3 in the season, as well as the Morgan State Bears. Both of these teams had close matchups, losses, as they couldn't quite get it done. But let's go with these receiving votes. Norfolk State Spartans, 2-2. After that opening season loss to a Division II Virginia State programs at the Division II program level, obviously out of the CIAA, Norfolk State has bounced back and had some big wins. If you think about it, they have another intriguing matchup. Former foe comes into town this year, but they're on the come up as they continue to win and get it done. They're outside of the top 7, though, with 167 points. Bringing us to other team, Alabama A&M Bulldogs, also receiving votes. Even their record with the good Thursday night win last week, 2-2. Charles talked a little bit about that matchup in terms of Tuskegee. 1-1 in terms of the conference race, 148 points, but they're still on the outside looking in at top 7. Bringing us to number 10 would be, if you would, Southern Jaguars, 1-2, 1-0. They were open last weekend, 147 points at just outside. Last week, they were number 9, so they dropped back, not playing there, if you would. See what that looks like. Let's get into top 7 and see what everybody thinks. At number 7, Grambling State Tigers, 2-2, 1-0, 180 points. Previously, they were not ranked outside of the top 10, but they jump in after a big win over Texas Southern at home. At number 6, you have Prairie View A&M Panthers, 2-2, 2-0 in terms of what they're getting done, 183 points. They were outside the top 10, but they jumped in the rankings as well, bringing us to number 5. At number 5, you have Jackson State Tigers. They had a tough opening game at home, but with little kicking problems, it was a big win, particularly on the defensive side. Give them credit. They got it done, 3-2. 1-1 on the season in the conference race, 186 points. They stay at number 5. Bring us to number 4, the Hampton Pirates. They were open that past weekend, so they stay at 2-1, 205 points, and they stay in the 4th spot, along with number 3, Tennessee State Tigers, also 2-1, as they are 1-0 in the OVC Big South. They stay at number 3, however, at 208 points as they continue to move forward and get it done. Bringing us to number 2, North Carolina Central Eagles, 3-1. They actually get back a first-place vote. They do not vault up to number 1 as they have 245 points, as they're just edged out of the number 1 spot by the Florida A&M Rattlers, who are 3-1, 2-0 overall. But as I said, they lost the first-place vote, so they fall to 6th. But overall, they have 246 points, so they remain at number 1 with a very narrow margin, as you see.
Oh.
It is fascinating with those two teams as they jockey back and forth. Is that a precursor to the Celebration Bowl? We should see. Still a lot of season left, so it might be early for that, but it is tantalizing, I will say that. With that being said, I'm going to start with you, Charles, since Mike says he has something to say with my major division as he's already getting his dusted feathers. I'm going to make him wait a little bit. Charles, what do you say about the top 7?
I tried to take a look at those receiving votes and see can I push them up, but it looks about right. Let's talk about Grambling State. We've talked about all the teams that can really run the ball in the SWAC West, whether you're talking about Prairie View, whether you're talking about Alcorn, even Southern has a bevy of backs, but Grambling, especially over the past couple of weeks, you get to see their backs. You talk about Chance Williams and Floyd Chalk really put their stamp on this Grambling offense. And Miles Crawley, over the past 2 weeks, he's thrown for over 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, but even bigger, no interceptions, taking care of the football. That makes this Grambling football team very dangerous, makes for a very intriguing matchup with number 6 Prairie View. I think that's going to be a slobber knocker this weekend. So I think the poll looks about right.
Good stuff, good stuff. Good to hear. Mike, as you hold your face straight now, go ahead and tell us your thoughts on the top 7. You make me nervous.
Where do you have Hampton at?
I'm Hampton at number 4.
At number 4. And they're above Purview, right? They're above Grambling, right? They're above Grambling, right?
That's correct. They did beat Grambling to open up the season.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. But what in Hampton's play has made them? Thank you. I got it up here on my screen. Is Hampton truly a top 5 team? Look at the other teams you have. Look at where they're ranked. Look at where their offense ranks in their own conference. No, Hampton is not so I look at how they ranked in their own conference. Offensively, defensively, they are not a top 5 team. Sorry. That I don't know who. This is politics or something. I don't know who voted for Hampton.
East Coast bias.
I was like, a little biased to me. I'm sorry. So,
wow, I can't believe y'all gonna do this to me. With that being said, you got to remember this is a week-to-week poll. You all have the habit, and many people do this, so I can't blame y'all. Y'all like to project in terms of where it's going. We did that as a preseason. This is week to week. How teams play this week? Were they up? Were they work? How fall? Do they fall? Do they stay where they are? Did they not play? Just look at it week to week. Teams shift up a little bit, shift down. Sounds like you want to project and look at all this data person, data points, this data point. We're not asking you to project who's going to win the conference. We're not asking you to project who would win if Hampton faced Prairie View or Grambling. And we know what took place there because they played each other. So I know you don't want Grambling any further up. Well,
no, didn't say anything about Grambling. Didn't say anything about that. But I'm saying, look at how when you do look at them, you look at where they stand in their individual conference, who they played against. You try to weigh that against each other in the poll. That should be one factor, one data point in that poll. It doesn't appear to be the case in your major poll.
They haven't played a conference game yet. They played that this weekend. Yeah. They haven't played a conference game. They played these HBCU programs, and they're 2-1. They won 2 out of 1. One of them included a comeback miracle, if you would, that a lot of folks.
The miracle. Are you counting the miracle win? Okay.
Yeah, that's what some people say. Jay, I'm just saying.
In my opinion, they were given that win, but I'm just
like, I don't want to put words in Jay Walker's mouth, but he sure looked like it in terms of what he thought. I know a lot of Howard fans I've seen out there in terms of how they fussed at the coach. That's what they thought. But, hey, it is week number 4. We're just shaping things out. We'll round out. If Hampton can't get it done in the Colonial like last year, to give you an example, and then they're going to fall. They start losing, they will fall. Then trust me, you're right. They won't be in the top 5. But right now, they are 2-1, sitting pretty at number 4.
Okay. They got them. They got a decent 3 games. They beat Grambling. They were given a game against Howard, and they did beat Norfolk. I'll go with that.
Norfolk sitting outside. Did you want to bump Norfolk up at 2-2? Now they have that loss to Virginia State, but that is a 4-0 Virginia State team. I will say
yes. That Virginia State's got a much. You look at who they play. They play Virginia State.
All right. Yeah, all the fans up there in Norfolk said they're supposed to win that game. I'm just saying. They went on. I was just saying. I'm just saying.